Good evening, Central Indiana, and welcome back once again to Porch Time. We are live in JTH Construction Studio. Tonight, we had to clear the room of all the youngsters. It was a blast having them in there, but tonight we're going to get serious with the American Legion Auxiliary is in the house tonight, and we will get to them momentarily to talk about National Wreaths Across America Day. But first, let me talk about my sponsors, and I'm already jumping the gun. Get a hold of Joe at JTH Construction for all your construction need. 765-913-8599. American Basement Solutions. Larry Ralph Sr. 1-877-409-2837. Livewire with Tommy Walls. 765-792-4012. Teresa Messmer, Fathom Real Estate. Get a hold of Teresa for all your real estate needs. 765-341-8911. Wellspring, that's Bob Goodrum's group, 765-342-6661. Stids Comfort Systems, 765-346-0195. Trapper Tim, Nuisance Wildlife Removal and Pest Control, 765-913-7553. Logan's Cosmos, 765-318-3388. Wayman's Furniture, Appliance, and Mattress. Get a hold of Mark at 765-342-4339. April French says, hi, McGee's and Angie. The Yard Barber, Andrew Payton, 765-318-4108. And last but not least, Hometown Nutrition, Martinsville, 765-315-0738. And we love our sponsors. We'll always take more. All right. There's Audra. How we doing, Audra? How you doing, April? All right, we have the American Legion Auxiliary in tonight and American Legion member in here tonight. Sherry, how you doing? Sherry McGee, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
And you brought John along, didn't you? You had to.
He's my chauffeur.
Yep.
He's driving Miss Daisy.
I'm the significant other.
Right. And Angie joins us. Angela Perry, how you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Thank you guys for coming in. I think this is how you doing, April? I think this is a very, if you're a veteran, like and share and push this out. If you have any ties to the military whatsoever, you're going to want to read this or hear about this. I'm going to turn it over to Sherry and let her explain a little bit what they're in here for today, and we'll talk about it as we move forward. Wreaths Across America Day, Sherry, tell us all about it and how it got started. And I think you had a big hand in that.
We haven't done it yet, but some years ago, my son was married to a young lady for 19 years, and she passed away. She was a veteran. She was a CB. And he sent me a picture of her tombstone, and there was a wreath at the base of it. And I'd never seen that before, and I thought it was a beautiful tribute. And I found out that it was a program called Wreaths Across America. And I thought, why aren't we doing that here locally? Because it's wonderful. The premise behind it is you honor veterans by presenting them a wreath. You remember them by saying their name, and then you teach the patriotic program by doing that with other groups that help participate in placing the wreaths.
And National Wreaths Across America Day is December 14th, 2024. Would that be the day that you're looking for to do that here in the county or in the city?
Yes, everybody in the country that's part of the Wreaths Across America program will lay wreaths at noon, or their program will start at noon on December the 14th.
And this is national. Probably international too, I'd assume.
I know it's national. I don't know about international.
I was curious if they do it over.
They may. I don't know. I do know that they do it across the country in the States.
Very cool. I had never heard of it, honestly.
Yeah.
And that's kind of shocking. Being a veteran, I think we're all veterans in here. Had you heard of it?
No, I hadn't. But I would imagine that probably the servicemen who perished on D-Day are buried there in France,
That's
and
what
I would imagine that those people, I'm sure they commemorate the veterans that helped to free France.
Right. I know they do a big thing over there on D-Day and everything else, and I can see this going on there. I know they put the flags out on Memorial Day.
Yes, sir.
Every year, which is, I've been to Arlington, and if you've never been, you need to go. It's a bucket list thing. Whether you're a veteran or not, you go there and you just take the tour and watch the changing of the guard. And it is, I want to say, it changes you as a person, the respect that you have for those that perished fighting for our freedoms. And some of the people you heard in the movies and growing up as a kid, they're buried there. And I was I'm a fan of General Patton. And yeah. So that's why one of the young kids was in here earlier. They're like, "Why's he got a general on his back wall?" And I didn't say anything. I was like, "That's Mr. Patton." And actually, I'll tell you a quick story on that. Tim was stationed at Knox tanker, and he got out before me, and I got out about a year after him. And I was home. My birthday was coming up, and
there's Heidi.
Heidi says, "Hi, Sherry and Angie."
Hi.
And John.
Yeah.
So he wanted to get me something for my birthday. My birthday is on Memorial Day, normally, May 30th. And so he calls his old CQ down at Knox. And the guy he used to be there with is still there. He says, "Go in there and yank the painting off the old man's wall, make a copy of it, send it to me, shrink it down."
Ah.
That's replica of what's in the CQ at their tanker battalion. And so, finally off work, yes, my windshield wiper is still broken. Seth, you got to get that fixed, buddy. Seth broke his windshield wiper at 6:30 this morning, so on his front loader.
Well, General Patton and Elvis Presley were in the 1st Armored Division, which is where I served.
Did you really?
Yes, sir.
I did not know that. That is quite the honor. I didn't know Elvis was in that.
Yes, he was.
That's remarkable. Patton was my favorite, and like I said, go to Arlington and to see that place and the history of the. First of all, the history of that land is utterly amazing by itself.
It's
how it came to be.
Yes.
Talk about the start of the country. Literally, the battles and stuff that went on right there.
Oh yeah.
And the exchange of everything that went on is remarkable. So can you tell us a story about how you got involved with Wreaths Across America, or what?
Well,
Because that's a great story.
you're talking about how
Yes.
about Jill?
Yes.
Well, it's my son's wife.
That's
one that's deceased.
That's the picture right there.
Well, that's
I'm
not
sorry.
hers. You've got
This one's hers.
that one's her.
Yes.
That's when I first saw that. That's when
Yeah.
I thought, my goodness, we need to do that here.
Yeah.
And we're going to do the first cemetery we're going to do is going to be Hilldale over here on Morgan Street.
Okay.
And we've been working with the gentleman named Bob Brooks. He's been wonderful to work with, helping us locate the actual veterans and where they're buried.
Audra, it hadn't popped up yet, but Arlington is amazing. Here to help you with this project, Madam McGee. Just tell me when and where.
Oh, that's
Scott,
awesome.
They're fun, unbelievable people.
Yeah, her and her husband are both really
Yes,
good
they are,
people.
Bill and Audra. So, do you know how many graves we're talking in county or in the area?
Well,
problem.
at Hilldale right now, they thought they only had about 76 there, but we've located over 200. It's almost close to 200 and some, 276
Wow.
instead. We'll also be doing Mooresville, and we'll be hopefully do Centennial Road. There's a cemetery out there, and then next year in 2025, we want to do the Poston Road, 3 cemeteries there: Old South Park, New South Park, and Green Lawn. That's a lot of veterans, though, so we're going to need a lot more help, and we need sponsors. That's one of the main
I know
things.
where there's 2 at St. Martin's too. My dad and my brother. So,
Well, if you buy 3 wreaths, you get 2 free.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Such a deal.
So you can get 5. So let me.
But you have to do it. If you do that to help us get all the veterans' graves covered this year, that's one of the things we're trying to do. And some people can designate where they want the wreaths to be laid. You can buy the wreaths; they're all delivered at the same time. So you just come and pick up your wreaths. You can put them wherever you want.
So how much does a wreath cost?
The wreaths are $17 a piece.
$17 a piece. That's it.
Yes.
So you guys are buying the wreaths right now, correct? No,
We haven't.
you haven't. That's not the plan.
Go ahead, Angie.
Come on, let's hear your plan.
The plan
Angie.
is well, I mean, we're still trying to locate all the veterans in Hilldale, and then once that's done, figure out the number of wreaths we need to order,
Right.
and then raise the money to order it. I mean, it's not like we have the funds to just go out and do this.
Yeah.
Right.
276
Pull
graves.
your mic closer to you.
276 graves just in Hilldale is a lot.
That's
of
a lot of graves, yeah.
and graves. So
Angie, which wars do all these cover?
all of them, John.
Well, from what, Revolutionary War?
I think Hilldale, they said they were all the way back to
Revolutionary, Spanish-American War.
yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me there.
Right. Yeah.
And there's probably some in the county that got Revolutionary War
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Veterans.
and that's the problem because they're not all documented.
Right.
So
And some of the graves have collapsed because they didn't have vaults back then, and the stones are gone. And there was a tornado apparently that went through Hilldale, and some of the stones left there.
Oh, wow. Didn't even think about that.
But there is a gentleman that did research here locally on the Civil War, and that's where we found a wonderful list that would help us match names up against the ones that are at Hilldale.
right.
Okay, so if you can raise the money, all the better. But if people want to donate or buy the wreaths themselves, as good, correct?
Absolutely.
And they're only 17 a piece, and you said if I buy 3, I get 2 extras.
Yeah.
Right.
So for less than what, $150, you can get 5 wreaths practically.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's $51 for 3.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I did that Martinsville math and got 50.
Yeah.
I was close. So Bill and I are happy to sponsor at least 5 on our end. There you go.
You're awesome.
So
Thank you.
Awesome, Audra.
that is, like I said, I've got 2 in my family that I would definitely have to here in county. Now I got to be careful. I got to add up, other family members that are out there. But in Martinsville, I think we've got 2. So
We have a barcode. If they use that that QR code, not barcode.
right here on the
It's QR
on the
code.
page.
Yep.
If you use that QR code, then it will take you directly to our group, and that way we get the credit. And then if there's wreaths left over, we can utilize those.
Sure. Now, is there a page or a website or a Facebook page? Or
We're currently building the Facebook page. In fact, we're working on it again Sunday, and it should be ready by Monday, no later than Monday.
Well, make sure after you get it up and running, let me know, and we will share it on our page and keep things, and I'll join it and keep things moving along
That would be
for
great.
certain.
Thank you.
Because Josh and I will
Yay.
sponsor. Yeah, I don't think you're going to have an issue getting sponsors for this. I have a page with as many military people in our area that I could gather. And I thought about sending this live through there tonight, but what I certainly will do is once you guys get this online, I will send it on there and tell them, hey, this is a necessity. You got to do this. So
I think it's a no-brainer. We just absolutely have to do this.
yeah. Can you spot or share the QR code
Yes.
poster? Do you have this flyer on Facebook anywhere at all?
Not yet, but I will make sure it gets on there.
I don't know if that'll help Audra. If not, they're going to get it on there. They're going to get the flyer on the page, and then you can get it on there.
Audra, I'll post it on the Legion website for you.
There's Donna.
Don, it's
Donna and Jim.
Jim will sponsor. That's phenomenal. December 14th, 2024, National Wreaths Across America Day. And if you don't know, they lay wreaths at the base of the grave sites for fallen veterans, much like they do the flags on Memorial Day, but these are wreaths, and it's right around Christmas time. How long do they stay up?
We can leave them as long as we want. I mean, they don't want it. They're pinned to the ground. When you lay the wreath, you approach the grave, you say the veteran's name. That way they're never forgotten.
Right.
And then you put the wreath down and you pin it to the ground. And then
Okay.
we'll go back through and pull those in a week or 2. It
Sure.
depends on the cemetery, but like Bob's been pretty easy to work with. It's kind of up to us when we come back and pick them up.
And every year it's new
It's new
wreaths.
wreaths. And
Perfect.
Yes.
there's little things like we have to determine what we're going to do with those when we do remove them. What are we
Right.
going to do with them then?
Right. Yeah. Are they real or are they artificial?
They're real.
They're
They're
real.
real.
But when people come to help, they better wear gloves.
Yeah. It's pine needles everywhere.
We actually participated in a wreath ceremony in Bloomington.
Really?
Yeah,
I
they
brought-
went to Rose Hill.
Yeah, that's what it was. Rose Hill.
Yeah, they went down to Rose Hill and participated in it down there. The one right off of 3rd Street.
Right. That's a big
Mhm.
one.
It's big.
Yeah.
That's a big
My
one.
grandfather's buried there. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be darned. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
We will need lots of hands to help, April says.
Yeah.
She's right.
The thing is this, I get a lot of people message me, younger kids, hey, I need community hours for National Honor Society or something. And this would be a great middle of the school year project to go out and, lay the wreaths and help out like that. That would be phenomenal. Do you do it all in one day, December 14th?
We tried
Have
to.
to hit every spot.
we won't be able to do Mooresville and Martinsville in the same day. There's a
Right.
big cemetery in Mooresville, and they're part of
Yes.
our group, and we'll go up there the day after. We're going to go there on the 15th.
Yeah, that's a big one. That'd take a lot of volunteers.
Well, we thought we had about 500 at Hilldale, but I don't think we're going to hit 500. I think we might get close to 300.
Mm-hmm.
But I know on Poston Road we'll probably have about 3,000 over
But
there.
that'll be next
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, at least. Yeah, it will be. We can't do that this year.
100%, April. A very good learning moment, teaching moment for the youngsters. And at this day and age, I think it's a necessity myself.
Absolutely.
Amen.
We need more of it, but help the American Legion Auxiliary Unit 230 Martinsville honor local heroes. Sponsor a wreath today to be placed at the veteran's grave this December at Hilldale and Mooresville cemeteries. Scan the QR code to make donations online or visit www.wreaths.org/in0194. And I'm sure that ties it back to you guys.
It does. That and the QR code takes you straight there.
It's going to be a busy day. So, are you in
It's gonna be a
charge
lot.
of this now? Are you? No,
I'm not in charge of anything. No, Sherry and I got to talking about it one day and how amazing it was and how we thought it needed to come here to Martinsville, and Sherry just took off, and I agreed, and she took off running with it.
Well,
She's awesome, though. Angie always helps with things like this.
That's awesome. She had
I'm just
messaged
here
me
to
about a
cheer
month
her.
ago, and sickness and storms and everything else. And I was like, let's cancel and move it out. And we moved it out a few weeks because I knew it wasn't happening today, so to speak. But I knew I was going to get her in here, and I'd never heard of it. And
It really is beautiful. I mean, it's amazing.
I mean, you
Okay.
think about what they do for Memorial Day for the flags, and you see those images on, and I've seen these now to think of it on TV where they do this.
Mhm.
But the flags stick out. They seem to be more prevalent as far as on Memorial Day. It's summertime.
Right.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? It's sunny out, and they go somewhere. Also got 3 kids that will help their father, grandfather, great father. Rick's
you
already
go.
got it up.
Way to
Uh-huh.
go. Now, if you could just get our little IN0194 on there, it'd be perfect.
Oh, it may be. Oh,
Because
yeah.
if you go, it'll take you to Wreaths Across America, but you have to select our group, or we won't get credit for the
Yeah.
raise. And any money that we raise that's not used to buy wreaths this year will go to next year's. And next year, we're going to need a lot more sponsors next year because we'll still do Hilldale, we'll still do Centennial Road, we'll do Mooresville, and we're going to have 3 other cemeteries over here.
Right. That's Rick and Debbie Finney from the Paragon Homecoming. They got their 100-year anniversary coming up.
Oh,
And so, and they're sponsors of the show now too. They just haven't got all the logistics on the cards and all that done yet, but they're fantastic folks, and that's awesome.
Well, it's not surprising that there are so many graves of veterans here because Morgan County has a lot of people who served over the years. It's no surprise to me at all.
Well, we're city proud, we're county proud, and we're country proud down here for sure. And I think that's generational,
Mhm.
and it's something that's always been that way down here. When I graduated high school, I think there was 9 of us that went, whether it be Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines, went into the service. And I think that we even had a 10th, I think, after a couple of years that went up and signed up and joined.
Mhm.
Just out of my class, which is, to me, that's quite a few.
that is a lot.
So that I think that happens every year, though. You know, now 5, 6, 7 kids sign up and go. So
There's 30,000 veterans from Morgan County that are buried here.
really,
Yes. I was surprised at that number when they told it to me. I was like,
in
really?
Morgan County,
And
30,000.
that's what they told me. But we're talking all wars.
Right,
So that's
that's
quite
still
a
a
few,
big
though.
number
That's huge.
for such a small little county.
Oh,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? There's only 30,000 people. Wow, somewhere 17,000 people in the county total right now, roughly, give or take.
Something like that. Yeah.
So that's a lot of folks that sacrificed and gave it all for our way of life. December 14th, 2024, National Wreaths Across America Day. That's the day they are targeting to go out to Hilldale and Mooresville cemeteries to lay the wreaths at the gravesite of fallen veterans. If you'd like to be involved or donate money or become a sponsor, buy wreaths, there's a QR code. If you follow that link, make sure you go to the IN 0194. That pushes it back to our auxiliary here in town, and they get credit for it. And I think she's got a deal going on right now: buy 3 get 2 free. So you can't beat that. That covers 5. You know, that's a good deal. That's a heck of a deal.
And there's 500 graves in Mooresville Cemetery. They know that. They know they did keep track of the veterans buried up in Mooresville Cemetery, so we know that one has 500.
Now, have you been in contact with anybody other than the graveyard up in Mooresville, city-wise or anything?
I know the president up there at that auxiliary has been.
Okay, good. I wasn't for sure if there was an auxiliary up there or not.
Oh yeah.
Are they working with you?
Yes, they are.
Fantastic. That's
In fact,
more help.
that's who her. They're working with me to do the Facebook page. It's actually them that's working with me one-on-one, and Angie will probably be an admin on that too. Surprise!
Angie's going to be an admin on that. You can be an admin on that.
Okay,
Angie.
thanks. Great. Fantastic.
Just letting you know.
Okay.
But she does the other one too.
Sherry's
so.
throwing that out there too,
Yeah.
right? Just
They gave it to you at a point when you couldn't refuse.
Right. Right.
say no right now. I
Sorry,
dare
where's
you.
the door?
Why did I show up for
Hey,
this?
that's part of it. I think it's a wonderful idea. I had no clue they even do this. I think any way we can honor our fallen.
My daughter-in-law served on an island that was contaminated,
Really?
and that's why she passed away.
Yeah.
And that's why this is important to me.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she is my inspiration.
Yeah. Very sorry to hear that, but very, she was clearly very, very proud of her.
I
And
am.
She
She was a tough little thing. She was shorter than me, and I'm short and vertically challenged, But
Yeah.
I mean, nothing
You're a
got
tough
in her
little
way.
thing too, though. If I remember,
Yeah.
I've seen you wearing the leather riding the motorcycles out there when it's 40 degrees. So don't sell yourself short over there. So
Yeah. Well, Jill was definitely a fighter. She was diagnosed with cancer and given 3 or 4 years
She
to
was
live,
given 5, and she made it 10.
and
Can I
she
ask
made
what
10
island?
years.
Vegas.
really,
Vieques off the coast of Cuba,
It was Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
contaminated.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It had been used for a dump site and impact site for shelling and bombing and so forth. So there was a lot of debris left around there that later found out was carcinogenic.
Right. Wonder how many service people that affected.
Quite a few, unfortunately.
I was going to say.
She told me about one gentleman that was stationed there. He grew up on the island, and he wanted to serve in the military. So when he came of age, he became a Marine. He came back to the island and served. He's had, and this is years ago, but he's since had 5 different kinds of cancer, was blind and confined to a wheelchair.
Oh
And
my.
it's just tragic.
Yeah. So clearly that's your inspiration to do this, and I
Oh,
know
yes.
you'll push through and get this taken care of. And we want to help any way you can. If you please get involved and sponsor. If you've got a family member, a relative that have passed, and you know where their grave's at, or anything like that, purchase these wreaths. Go through the American Legion Auxiliary Unit 230 Martinsville. And that on that site, you'll see their code is IN0194, and you'll get to do this for your loved one and lay a wreath at the gravesite come December 14th, 2024, and help these guys out. Someone's.
You can buy wreaths and take them wherever you want to. I've had a lot of people ask me that, but you're
Yeah.
welcome to buy the wreaths, and we'll have them
For
available.
numerous places,
Mhm.
The VFW is also helping with this. They've been coming to the meetings too.
I was curious if you've gotten the other groups in town to come on board.
So far, just the VFW.
Yeah,
But I mean, they've been with us from the beginning when we started it.
that's phenomenal. That is good stuff. Anything else you want to add or discuss, or?
Well, I was trying to look at my notes, see if I forgot anything, because I forget my head sometimes. If I'm not
Well,
screwed
I'm that
on.
way too.
Well,
And it's late in the day. I forget where I'm at half the time.
well, if people drive by the cemeteries and they see these wreaths, they wonder what they are there for.
Right.
All they need to do is check with the American Legion Auxiliary.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm very proud of these girls.
Yeah. Very proud of you guys. This is an amazing thing to get involved with. And like I said, I'm a veteran. I had never heard anything about it. So I'm sure there's a lot out there. And once you get this on there, I've got a site with probably 200 vets on it that I'll push it to.
That's awesome.
And
Okay.
show it and go from there.
All right. Awesome.
You got anything else you want to add?
No.
Are you sure? We can sit and talk for hours.
I'm
Now, you knew you were coming on air.
done. I'm just here for support.
Moral support, right?
Yep.
Hey, she's a tough little cookie. I'm telling you. I've seen her on the motorcycles when it's 40 degrees and
Why not?
riding in the parades and
Why not?
everything else, and bike runs and everything. So
Can't help but sense to her.
Well, that's true.
I'm getting messy.
It's a wonderful project, and like I say, Morgan County has a lot of veterans, a lot of patriotic people who have served.
Yeah, we do. This is a very patriotic county. Martinsville is a very patriotic city, and step up and help. I get so many people, nothing to do, no cause I want to get involved with. Here you go. Here's another. This is like my third one in about 12 days. Another outstanding event to get a hold of, and it's nickel and dimes. It's not a big one. If you can buy that many for $51, that covers 5.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. Just look at the Veterans Memorial on the square in Martinsville.
isn't that amazing?
Look at Memorial Day, Veterans Day, taps on Friday.
Bruce is
All
an
very,
unbelievable job
very,
with it.
all very patriotic.
Yes, sir. Bruce and his crew do an amazing job.
He'll be our bugler. I already asked
Well,
him.
of course.
Of course. Who else would it
Who else?
be?
You got to have Bruce.
Right.
Oh,
He's,
yeah.
you talk about in demand on the Memorial Day and
Oh,
things
yeah.
like that.
That's why I ask early.
Oh, you got to. That guy is he's played everywhere.
Oh,
Literally.
yeah. He's been to Arlington.
Yes,
He's been to
has.
Arlington, yes.
He has played at Arlington, has he
Yes,
not?
he
Yes, he
has.
has.
That's what I thought.
That's such a humbling experience to go there, though. When you were talking about Arlington Cemetery, it does change you if you've seen the guard change, and that's just something else.
I took my iPad and we rode the trolley up and around and everything. Took the long route, and there was times that I didn't say a word, and it's on there somewhere, and I just had row after row after row after row after row. I mean, 20-minute drive through this thing, and for as far as the eye can see, and then the gentleman would get on and say a little bit about who's buried so far off here or down here, because it's hilly. You're in DC, you're right on the edge of the ocean, but you're also right on the edge of a mountain range right there.
Oh, yeah.
And you're on the bottom end of it, and then they get into the battles and who owned the property before and how it came to pass, and then all of a sudden now this is the direction they went, and now it's a final resting home for all of our veterans and heroes. And not everybody gets to Arlington, but the ones that have, my goodness, I think there's about a half an hour of footage and about 15 minutes of me just mesmerized by what's going on. And we didn't film the changing of the guard. I didn't want to talk through it. That is amazing.
Yes.
I had a kid. I was in communication school, and we had the first, you guys know, first 8 weeks it was chain step, but after that, there's slotted 8 weeks. But as soon as you get done, you're out. You get sent to permanent party. Well, it was me and a kid from Ohio, 1 and 2, and he was 10 times more squared away than I was. And like the last day, the drill sergeants came up to him and said, "Hey, we're nominating you to go to DC to the honor guard and see if you can make it, because they get nominated doesn't mean they're in." But gave him a hug and shook his hand. I hadn't seen him since, and never did know. But name was Buford. He was from Ohio, but he was perfect height. They got to be a perfect height and all that. I was not, but it's just breaks the game. But he was a very squared away young man, inspiring to all of us there. And
well, the members of the old guard that perform there at Arlington Cemetery are the elite of the elite.
Oh, 100%. They are
the creases on their pants, you could shave with those.
Yes.
You could see your image in reflection of the boots they polished. And
how you doing, Bill?
They just do a fantastic job.
That is one of the most incredible things you're ever going to see. Everything is rehearsed and again and again and again. There is no mistakes. You don't make a mistake.
No. Not
with your uniform, not with your appearance, not with your dress, and not with your march and the movements. Everything is choreographed to a T. Yeah. And man, those guys are just the ultimate professionals.
And they stayed there. There was a storm or whatever, and they said you could stand down, and they said no.
It was a hurricane about 5 years ago.
Yes.
Yep.
And the rain was going sideways in that image. Anytime a storm happens in DC, they're not leaving that. They're not leaving that storm anyway. They stayed there during that hurricane when the wind and the rain was blowing sideways, and they kept on. And they did not miss a beat. And it was just no different than it was sunny and blue sky out.
Right. 24/7.
Yeah. I'll go back and watch videos online of changing the guard, and it's just like you're there. That you go back to that day, and it is amazing. Best of the best. December 14th, 2024, National Wreaths Across America Day. The Help Our American Legion Auxiliary Unit 230 of Martinsville honor our local heroes. They're just getting this started. Sherry and she's trying to get this going and sponsor a wreath today to be placed at the veteran's grave this December at Hilldale and Mooresville cemeteries. There's a link right there. If you click on that, make sure you go to the IN 0194, and that will give our auxiliary credit. Right now, you can purchase 3 and get 2 free. They're only $17 a piece, and they have their work cut out for it. They need sponsors, and they'll need volunteers on the 14th of December.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what day is it? Is that a weekend or a weekday?
I think it's a. Oh, now I should know that, and I don't. I want to say it's a Saturday, but it might be a Friday.
If it's a Saturday, you're probably going to get a lot more help. If it's a weekday, it might be difficult.
It's a Saturday.
Good
It is
deal.
Saturday. I thought
Saturday.
it was, but I wasn't sure.
So at any point in time during the day, you'll have more information by then.
Oh,
Bill
yeah.
says, "Love you, Sherry."
Love you
Changing
too,
the guard
Bill.
is the most American thing.
He's a
there is.
good guy. I really
Exactly.
like him. Him and his wife both are
They're
great.
good folks.
If they wanted to, they could probably come by the post and drop off a donation or whatever, couldn't they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right here in town.
701 East Morgan Street.
There you go. 701 East Morgan to drop off a donation to the American Legion Auxiliary for National Wreath Across America Day. Make sure you put that in the note to let people know that's what it's going there for.
Please.
This is it's going to be it's a lot like the flags on Memorial Day that you see on the grave sites. So like the image shows, if you look around, there's wreaths on all the headstones, and those are all veterans. So
Even if they don't have those white stones behind them, when you see a cemetery covered in those, it gets to you.
right, yeah, 100%.
I watched a veteran lay a wreath. The gentleman that went with me, Kyle Seasteen, went with me, and I watched him do it, and it had me in tears.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
couldn't handle it.
Yeah, I'll be crying. I'll tell you that right now.
Kyle didn't want to be here tonight, did he?
But he doesn't want to be on camera. I understand that. Makes me nervous too.
Oh, you're doing fine, Cherry. You're doing a great job. Well, you guys got anything else you want to add before we call it a night?
I can't think of anything.
John, you got anything?
No, I don't think so. Thank you.
You sure we can't?
I think we're great.
You're gonna get the
I think you
Facebook
said
page
it all.
up?
I'm no,
A help?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll help.
Angie's our IT person for a lot of things around the post.
I'll help. In the meantime, though, I will put that link on the American Legion's website or Facebook page.
Yeah, go to
we
American
have-
Legion here in town.
We have a page too. I forgot about our page. We can put it on our page.
Yeah,
Right.
I'll do that for now.
Put that everywhere, and then help draw on the business. So,
Yep.
well, any way we can help, especially as the year goes on, get you back in here in a couple months and do it again, and get some other people with you.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and we could talk it up because this is an ongoing thing until December 14th. You know
Right.
what
Yeah,
I mean?
it is.
It doesn't just stop today and you guys go out and do what you got to do. You guys during the fair, you guys got a booth, right?
Well, they did last year, didn't
We're- I think the Legion is going to have a booth with all of the different units in there.
Sure, that
Yes.
would be a great
Oh,
thing
yeah.
to pass these flyers out and push that information. So
Certainly.
they? And we do have donation buckets. When people come to bingo and stuff like that, we're going to start putting those out. People that come into the post and participate in the treasure hunt, try to win that big money, we'll have donation buckets out for that.
when's the next bingo?
The next bingo is the 20th.
20th. Big pots.
Well, at bingo, the last one we just paid out was $429, so it was pretty good.
You know what? That's better than zero.
Yes, it is.
Oh yes.
That's what I-
Yeah, we have 2 bingos a month, so please come in.
Yeah, I thought you guys did 2 a month. So
It's the first and the third Wednesday every month.
Timmy loved playing bingo. There for a while. Him and Lori were going 3 nights a week, every week for years.
Wow.
I mean, they were the Dauber Kings, but so party John and Sherry tonight. There you go.
We better wake up the dog.
Oh, dear.
Scoot over,
Well,
Mac.
guys,
We're coming in.
Thank you so much for coming in tonight. I'm glad we
thank you
finally
for
got you
having
on.
us.
Hopefully we can help you out. And like I said, give it a couple, 3 months, we'll do it again,
Yeah,
and then
have
try
us
to.
back when we have more.
Well, I mean, once you get the site up,
Big
that'll
plan.
help. And then if we do one in the middle of summer, then early fall,
Yeah.
that certainly wouldn't help. Would
Yeah.
help. So
Well,
Yeah.
starting this thing is a big trying to figure out where you start. That was the biggest
Right.
thing right there. We just tried to figure out what do we do to get this going.
Hmm.
What questions do we ask?
Yeah. Well, we're also going to have a very patriotic event too. The replica of the Vietnam Wall is coming to the Morgan County Fairgrounds this summer.
yeah, Valita had sent us some information on that today. We're looking at that. That'd be interesting.
Yes.
That is an amazing,
Hmm.
unbelievable thing. We're the only county that was picked in the state of Indiana.
Right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, we'll have people out there who will be there 24/7 to make sure everything is taken care of.
Right.
And
Is that
We'll-
going to be at the fairgrounds? What's
Yes.
it going to
Yes.
yes,
be? Okay.
That's in August, isn't it? I think it's
Yeah.
August.
a lot of the football players are going to help
Yeah,
bring
August
in
the
the
15th to the
monument
18th.
and help erect it, and then they'll help tear it down when the event is over.
That's just incredible. That is incredible. She sent us some information on that this morning. Yeah, they're having a mechanical bull down at the Peregrine Homecoming, and
Cool.
my morning crew wants me to ride
Ow.
that mechanism of death and get splattered. And now Rick and Debbie are like, "Here you go, it's your fundraiser to ride the bull." No, nice try, Rick.
You'll be fine.
I've been hit in the face with pies and
Just
stuff
8
like
seconds.
that. Yeah, that's what I said. If it's just 8 seconds,
Yeah, just 8 seconds.
I've seen
You'll
the
be fine.
videos where they've been on there for 1 second, that thing goes, and then they smack their face on the
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's over.
yeah, and there's Allie's one of my morning people, so they get a big kick out of that. So, well, I'm sure we'll do something with that eventually, but we got to play to the crowd. It is what it is. So, well, guys, thank you so much.
Oh, now the party's moved to your house. Okay, great.
Cakes, Bill, I do not. I mean, that's not a keg. I can't say that. So,
Oh, that's some good stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
it's at least some good stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll get Sherry out of here. She doesn't seem to
right. Well, you guys have. Thank you again for coming in, and we'll see you in a couple 3 months. We'll get you back in and do it again in the fall, and just start building momentum on this, moving towards December.
All right.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Kevin.
All right.
Thank you. I can't control it right now.
All right.
Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. No show tomorrow morning. I think I'm back on Sunday. I have the Sting cheerleading group coming in. So that'll be a lot of fun late in the day on Sunday. Love you guys. You have a great Friday and a great Saturday. Don't hear from you. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you soon.